uh, the World Bank, then the World Bank Group helping countries. World Bank, org. We cannot win the fight against climate changes without reducing the carbon footprint of transport. The sector currently accounts for the quarter of energy-related GHG emissions, and without aggressive actions, the number could grow even higher in coming years. While there are many ways to can help lessen the climate impact of transport, the one key priority is management motorizations more effectively in developing countries. The number of the vehicle, the load, expect double in next 15 or 20 years. Much of the growth will come from used vehicle import from high-income countries. What are responsibility of developing countries in regulating the global trade? Used car, truck, buses. How can we ensure this vehicle meet acceptable environment safety standard? How can countries promote adequate, proper maintenance? These are some of the key questions. The World Bank, the governments of the Netherlands and the United Nations are the key development partner will be taking on the mark. Launch the new transport decarbonization investment series. The Marie Pangestru, Management Director, Developing Policy and Partnership, World Bank. Inger Anderson, Executive Director of UN Environment Program under the Secretary General of United Nations. Pablo Funzberg, Acting Vice President, Director of Strategy Operations, Infrastructures, World Bank. The Transport Decarbonization Investment Series is a product of collaboration between the Netherlands and World Bank and the World Resource Institute, drawing on the World Bank research knowledges. The series aims delivering actionable recommendation COP26 with focus of overcoming investment barrier, developing innovative financial instrument. The platform promote, coordinate joint action, government, city, company, financial institution, key labor, boost investment, decarbonizing transport. The World Bank, then the World Bank Group helping countries. The World Bank, then the World Bank Group helping countries. org. We cannot win the fight against climate changes without reducing the carbon fight against the climate changes transport without reducing the carbon footprint for the quarter of transport. The sector currently accounts for the quarter and without aggressive actions, the number could grow even higher in coming years. While there are many ways to grow even higher in coming years, while there are many ways to impact of transport, the one key priority is management of transport motorizations. The one key priority is management developing motorizations. The number of the vehicle, the load, developing countries double in next. The number of the vehicle, the load, of the growth will double in next from used 15 or 20 years. Much of the growth from high-income countries. What are responsibility of developing countries in regulating the global trade of developing countries? Buses. In regulating the global vehicle meet used car, truck, environment. How can we ensure this vehicle meet? How can countries promote environment adequate safety standard maintained? How can countries promote adequate,
the World Bank, the governments
proper,
of the Netherlands and the United Nations,
the World Bank,
the
government
governments
partner
of the
will be
Netherlands and the
taking on
United
the
Nations
mark.
launched a new
development
partner will be taking on the launched a new transport
investment series.
Decarbonization, the Marie Penges investment director, developing policy and partnership. The Marie Penges management director, developing policy and partnership.
Executive Director of UN Environment Program
Under the Secretary General of United
Nations. Director of UN Environment Program
under the Secretary General of United Nations. Vice President, Director of Strategy Operations.
Vice President,
Director of Strategy Operations.
The Transport
Decarbonization investment
The transport
is product of collaboration between the Netherlands and World Bank. Is product of
resource
collaboration between the Netherlands and World Bank. And the World Resource
delivery
drawing on the World Bank accommodation knowledges. The Series M delivery actionable accommodation.
The World Bank
with focus
on
the World Bank
overcoming
investment barrier. Develop innovative financial instrument.
World Bank
ORG platform.
We cannot win the fight against the climate changes without reducing the carbon footprint of transport. The sector currently accounts for a quarter of energy related to the World Bank HG emissions.
Then the World Bank
not aggressive actions. The number could grow even higher in coming years.
Why there are many ways
to fight against climate changes without reducing the carbon footprint of transport. The sector currently accounts management for the quarter
motorization.
Yes,
more effective.
Here it goes.
Development and without aggressive
the number
action.
of the vehicle,
the load
could grow
double
higher
in coming years.
15 or
Why
20
there
years.
are many
Much
ways
of the
growth will come
can have
from used to vehicle
climate
import
impact
from high-income countries. The one responsibility of developing countries
motorization
in regulating the global trade in developing countries. How can we
the number of the vehicle,
the load
back
double in next 15 or 20 years? How can
much
countries
of the
growth will come
adequate
from used to
proper
maintenance?
These are some of the key
from high income.
The World Bank,
the governments,
what
of
are
the
responsibility
the United
of
Nations, developing countries,
are the key developments
in regulating the global trade. Used cars launched a new transport. How can we ensure this vehicle meet decarbonization standard investment series? How can countries promote marine and proper management developing policy and partnership? The World Bank, the governments of the Netherlands and the United Nations are the key development partners taking under the Secretary General of United Nations launched a new transport Vice President, Director of Organization of Operations, Infrastructures, the Marie Penges Management Director, Developing Policy and Decarbonization, the product of the collaboration between the Netherlands and World Bank General United Nations and the World Resource Institute, drawing on the World Bank research knowledge. Acting Vice President, Director of Strategy Operations, Infrastructures, World Bank. The World Bank Decarbonization Investment Series is product of collaboration between the Netherlands and World Bank and the World Resource Institute, drawing on the World Bank research knowledges. The Series M delivery actionable recommendation COP26 with focus of overcoming investment barrier, develop an innovative financial instrument. The platform promote, coordinate joint action, government, city, company, financial institution, key label, boost investment, decarbonizing transport.
The World Bank, then the World Bank Group helping countries. World Bank, ORG. We cannot win the fight against climate changes without reducing the carbon footprint of transport. The sector currently accounts for the quarter of energy-related GHG emissions, and without aggressive